Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
This is the Red Kingdom Media live postgame show.
What a start to the 2026 year, but that officially closes the book on the 2025 NFL season for the Kansas City Chiefs as your Kansas City Chiefs fall in Week 18 to the Las Vegas Raiders, where they score up 12-14. This was the most game of all games. Quarterbacks couldn't even approach 100 yards, except Aiden O'Connell. Get your revenge on Spags, even while playing absolutely terrible. But the Chiefs' offense was what it's been all year, even worse off with all backups and Travis Kelce trying his hardest while only getting 2 catches and 10 yards. So, 3 catches for 12 yards. So that may put the bow on the Travis Kelce season. He does officially fall over the 13,000 mark. So at least he's got that record going for him. But that's probably the end of Travis Kelce's career right there. And what a humbling experience to go out to, and what a humbling experience this 2025 season has been for your Kansas City Chiefs. So the combination of Oladokin and Shane Buechele, they just, played their backup role ever so nicely. Got to see a little bit of Rashard Smith, but nothing really to hang your hat over. And, receiving was basically nothing till that, almost call it Hail Mary play. Hollywood Brown gets it, a big 50-yarder catch there, which was, more than any receiver got, most of them put together. So offense was non-existent. And then say what you want about the defense, but out of the 2 units on the field, the defense balled out more. And the defense, especially the secondary and the linebacking core, has been able to kind of overcome different injuries, kind of cycle in different people at different times. And, that kind of goes to a testament of how good the defensive staff has been. And maybe kind of the detriment of how the offensive staff has been. It seems very clear that Matt Nagy is going to be on his way out. So at least you have that going for you for the Chiefs. Andy Reid is clearly here, coming back next year. Don't think anything about that. So how much of the other assistant coaches he has underneath him, who's to say? Andy Reid's a pretty loyal guy, but from what you saw this game, the Chiefs have needed to do something to kind of shake up their natural routine of things. And now it's time to kind of put the bookend on this year and start focusing on the offseason. And it's a weird one in Red Kingdom for a little bit, as we've been so lucky that our seasons have gone on till February and more. So we've had the entire month of January to give you in-season content. But this is the first time where the pivot to the off-season content will not be that long of a wait, because there is a lot of rebuilding and restructuring that this team's going to need to do. Some contracts on the books and not on the books, players to come in and try to help things out, some potential coach conversations. It's going to be plenty of off-season storylines to discuss. So, it'd be nice. It's nice to kind of put your brain fully in that window And with the game officially in the books, at this point, the Chiefs hold the number 9 overall pick. So the Chiefs obviously have not picked this high since trading up for Patrick Mahomes, but people forget that they had to trade up 17 spots. So they were at pick 27 and had to do a massive trade and gave up a future first. Now you get to get a pick within the top 10, and depending on how the board shapes out, you don't need a quarterback. You're still waiting. You're going to wait for Patrick Mahomes and try to sustain a backup for however long his recovery fully takes. A lot of us are trying to be optimistic to think that Pat can come back early September, make one of those first games right after his birthday. He's that kind of quarterback. He can do that. But it's, now you get one of the top picks. You want the best 1 or 2 edge rusher. You want the best offensive lineman. You want the best receiver. You want the best corner or safety. Do you really want the number 1 running back? The Chiefs have a lot of options. So, and then not only that, but their second round pick is basically a top 40 pick. And then go down the line. Their picks are improved just from the terrible season they had this year. It was a humbling experience, but it's been one the Chiefs and us have kind of needed. Patrick Mahomes, he is the true MVP of the Chiefs and the NFL for hopefully the next decade to come, as on top of what he's done. Hopefully this ACL injury is not the career changer that it can be, and that we still kind of get a taste of at least like the 2022 3s, 4s success, even if we never see the type of offense we saw in 2018, 19, and 20. But if we can get a solid Patrick Mahomes performance and get, some top 10 players in the different rounds to kind of go around him, this team can rebuild pretty quickly. Brett Veach has joked that, they win a Super Bowl in a rebuilding year. Well, here's a rebuilding year, and even Andy Reid in Kansas City has never had a losing season before. So they're breaking new ground there just after they break ground over the state line. But we won't go into that. At least we have a while to cherish Arrowhead while we still got it. And shout out to our blogs while we continue to spread the awareness there. And if you've never been to Arrowhead, go, because things are not going to start looking the same. And, being in there when the magic was kind of starting to happen, it's an experience. And hopefully other people get a taste of the kind of offenses I got to watch when the Chiefs were coming into their success. And I've been a fan long before that, so I'm used to the Chiefs kind of being passive, watching TV, still getting my attention, still trying to root for them, hoping they win and cheer on certain guys and stuff. But, this was a year they just didn't have it, and the record showed it. And the offseason is time to work hard and overcome it. And that's kind of an exciting thing. You didn't think that the Chiefs could fall this low, but even the mighty fall, man. And it's humbling, but sometimes needed. You need that gut punch. You need that slap across the face, so now you can turn the other cheek and do the hard work and overcome what's happened. It's painful, but it's a learning process, and it's necessary. It's something that Chiefs Kingdom needed to go through, this regime needed to go through, and it's time to make some hard decisions. Their cap space is not the best going into next year. You have some guys coming off contracts that you may or may not want. Guys have already kind of said their goodbyes on social media. The Travis Kelce retirement tour, all these other storylines. But now it's time for Brett Veach to promote. And there's some talk that Brett Veach has to kind of go against the grain of picking coaches guys and do his own thing. Maybe that's the case. I'm not sure. But as long as Andy and Spags are here, you better get somebody that they like, or they're just not going to use you. And we see plenty of that on both sides, both in rookies and free agents. So that also could be coaching. And no matter what, it seems like both sides need some fresh juice. And whether that's a different coaches or different players or different personnel or whatever the case, it's time to make the Chiefs of 2026 to be a little less predictable than they've been the last 3 years. And 2025 is going to be an unforgettable season and for all the wrong ways. But hopefully, if 2026 can kind of turn it around and be the type of season that they can root for and aspire to overcome and kind of grow and get better, whatever you want to call it, whatever superlatives. They just got to perform better. They got to coach better, play better. It's going to be a process. This team has some hard decisions to make. Figure out how long you can truly survive one way or the other. How long does Andy Reid have? How long does Spagnuolo have? How long does Clark patience last now that his brain is kind of slipping, if you will, after being at the top of the mountain? And how long you're willing to be back down towards the bottom of the drafts and stuff again. But, if you consider this year in a vacuum and kind of just encompass it over the entire Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes storylines, it was a necessary evil. Like it was coming, it couldn't be avoided. You couldn't, you couldn't stamp it out. The magic couldn't last 100% forever. You had to have reality hit. You had to have competitive teams kind of show you that, you can't be the mystical, magical, unavoidable Showtime Chiefs anymore. And, Andy Reid's got to do his own thing. But now it's time to bring in some fresh faces in the coaching staff and get some new voices. And hopefully 2026 can be a true rebuilt year as the Super Bowl slump year of losing a Super Bowl continues to haunt the Chiefs. But a playoff AFC Championship loss is definitely maybe more easy to stomach than a not even playoff making. But I guess that depends on your mood or your mental fortitude. If you like to see your team succeed but just come up a little bit short, then one is more painful. But if you can't stand to see your team just not look competitive, then this year has been unbearable for you. So in either case, here's hoping that 2026 is both a good, prosperous year for all of you out there in the Red Kingdom and for the Chiefs and for anybody listening, even if you do not root for the Kansas City Chiefs, which we've seen plenty of y'all. I don't know how and why you get into our algorithm or we're in yours, but likes and comments, we really appreciate that. Subscribing, obviously, but just keep showing us love. We're gonna have some off-season content coming out. Kind of take a little bit of a break. It seems like football has been kind of rough out here in Kansas City, Missouri for a little bit, but we're gonna be back. We got some things to discuss, some players, some coaches, all that fun stuff. So that's gonna do it for officially the 2025 regular season for the Kansas City Chiefs and for the Red Kingdom Media live post-game show. As again, your Kansas City Chiefs fall to the Raiders 12-14 in Week 18. My name is Clinton. If you haven't heard or seen me already, really appreciate you guys for all the support that you've given us or give us, whether you found us in a video recently or you've been there from the start or anywhere in between. I really appreciate it, all of y'all. And I really just hope that 2026 is a year that we just see some undeniable blessings that, we're just ready to accept whatever positive change is coming for Kansas City, the Chiefs, whatever the case. So here's hoping that 2026 is a good one for all of you out there in the Red Kingdom, myself, and everybody with me that I work with here at this organization. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. Have a good week and enjoy the first week officially of 2026 and the end of the regular season and the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. But with that being said, enjoy the rest of your night. And as always, go Chiefs.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.